Hello everybody, Alex here and welcome to Marshall Armory. So today we're just going to do a little hiking around. And I'd made a video the other day, like a month ago, because I wanted to start keeping up with the channel. Had the new GoPro on the wrong settings. Way high, too high settings for my computer or anything, my phone. I couldn't edit it. So anyways, we're back out here. We're going to try it again. And today I just got my trusty pack. It's a little bit heavy on the heavier side because I got the camera equipment. But that's what we're looking at. So today we're just going to do a little hiking around. Saw a couple deer already. It is hunting season. It is hunting season here in West Virginia, but we're not here for all that. Well, here's a good one. He's right here. Those are the black walnut. Mash those open. Which they're always like gummy and nasty inside. But once you mash them open, you get to that hard nut right there. You crack that open. Some good eats. You just gotta be careful with the ones, because a lot of these that I've found so far this year, when I've cracked them open, they've had worms in them. But that is a sustainable food source. You know, some fat, some protein. But once again, I might forage some. Depends on how long I'm out here today. You know what? I'm just gonna cut over the mountain. I don't feel like following the trail the whole way when we can just cut through. So I'm pretty sure, man, there's black walnut everywhere. I might have to come back here specifically for the black walnut because they're everywhere. I mean, they're not turning, they're called black walnut because when they rot, like when the outer husk, when it rots, it'll turn this like blackish color. Well, it's not blackish, it's straight black. But once again, that's not why we're here today. So mostly I'm just gonna follow this all the way down to the river. So I'll hit you guys up if I see anything else. All right, so here's a little tip for you. So I'm about halfway down the mountain working my way toward the river. I wanted to show you guys this. So this right here is a creek, and this is here year round. It's not just rainwater that runs through. There's actually nothing up that way. Like, people don't live that way. The hospital is up that way. My, white trash trailer park is up that way. Just a joke, guys. Don't get offended. So, I wanted to tell you about this creek. So, when you see creeks like this and they're flowing down a mountain, and you know that, like I know for a fact, the river's further down the mountain. There's no ponds, there's no lakes up on the top of this mountain. So, if I were to pay close attention and look, this water is relatively clean. I still would recommend that you filter it, boil it. If you got some type of water filter, like I have one on me, like I would totally use that. But just keep in mind, if I were to follow this up, because I know that the water's flowing down this mountain, if I were to follow it up, more than likely, if I pay attention, I'll be able to see where the natural spring is. This has to be from a natural spring because there's no large body of water at the top of this mountain. So it's something to think of when you're out and about, or you get stranded, or survival, or just bushcraft. If you come across a creek flowing down a mountain, following the creek down or river, yes, will more than likely lead to civilization. But like in West Virginia, these small creeks like this isn't going to lead me to civilization. It'll lead me to the river eventually. But if I follow it up, I can find a clean water source. And going up would be better if I was stranded here and I needed to make camp for the day. Because going up will be warmer, and then I'll be able to find a clean water source and base my camp off of that. All right, here's another little survival tip for you. So if you ever get stranded in the woods, plane crash, whatever, if you see this is an old road, okay? Or some would probably think, oh, well, this is just a deer trail or maybe a four-wheeler trail. But if you look, I'm finding gravel. Like, this isn't natural to this area. Like, this is 100% gravel that somebody hauled in. Now I want you to keep that in mind, because I know this area pretty well. I've studied the maps. I'm from this town. Like, I grew up around here. Where I'm going to, I've actually never been. I'm going to be scouting a little bit today. But keep in mind, this road, the moment that I started walking on it and I saw gravel, I know down leads to river. If I follow this up, 100% will take me back to the main road. So, another little tip for you. Okay, so I followed this trail. I actually went on another trail that I knew would take me more toward the river. But this old road actually continues on. There's still a little bit more gravel. You can see it's kind of open where the old road is. But, look right over there, spotted the water. And it looks like the deer have been going this way. I saw some deer scat before I turned the camera back on. Have to be real careful about snakes. I've been going through about waist high brush. I didn't even notice that. Check that out. Birds living in this old fireplace. That is cool, actually. So there used to be a house here. Maybe 100 years ago. Something big over there. Big as in small game, not probably turkey, maybe a squirrel. It's not a little bit too big to be a squirrel. Could have been anything else, but look at this. There's even old brick. Yeah, this 100% is an old foundation to a house. So at one point there was a house right here. That's cool but creepy. Whew. I walked in that little guy. I don't want to go that way. One thing you'll learn about me is I hate spiders and snakes. That's what I was going to say. So there's a bunch of snakes around here, okay? So you got to be careful about them. But in West Virginia, we only have, I think, 2 species of poisonous snake. And the only one I've ever came across is copperhead. So, you know, we just got to be leery. But I actually haven't seen any today, like snakes at all. But see, this is nothing here but this creek. Looks like this is an old creek that must have went right behind the house. Because obviously, if that's the fireplace, that means the house would have been probably over right there. This probably was the back side of the house. But that block work too, that's old. That ain't any type of new construction. Well, I'm going to navigate through this and I'll be back with you. Okay, so in navigating my way around, this is what I came to. It looks like that is some type of beached area, but it also looks like it's half underwater and probably like quicksand. So, if you see on this side, these giant rocks that kind of go out a little bit into the water, that's where I'm going to try to navigate to, because that would be perfect for fishing. To get right off. Yeah, I could get further out in the water, and I want to see what's around this peak. So let me navigate and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so we've actually made a way to the river. I'm not seeing any fish that I was hoping I'd see. Bass, bluegill. It is late in the year though. I mean, it's October. So, I was hoping I'd see some right there though. I don't even see minnows. Oh well, we're probably going to move on down. See what we can see. Alright, so I'm going to move on down before we find a spot that I like. I mean, there's been several spots that I could have made do, but I want to give you another little tip. As you see this type of sod, this like, there's deer tracks and animal tracks all along it. but it's real soft and squishy. So just a tip, if you're ever in this situation, I can keep going through briar and brush along the river, or stay up here in the, as it meets, you know, like 2 feet off the, where it goes from mud to grass. Now it's still mushy and squishy, but see, I can move just fine in this. I can walk in this, and that's what you really want. See, now I must flood through here. It's getting a little bit more mushy, but then it's going to open back up. Need to go another foot higher. Oh, that's solid. And we'll just move along this. The river's also like way low. We had rain a couple days ago, so I thought the river might be up, but no, that river is low, low, low. Huh. Looks like it actually, I mean, it's way overgrown with this ironweed, but looks like it actually levels off up there. Get around this tree and we'll pop up there and take a look. It does 100% level off. Nice. See, now this is what I would be looking for. For a good little base camp, clear out some of this brush. It's pretty level, good tree coverage, no widow makers. Maybe that one, but I can take that down and use that for firewood. That's good dry stuff. All right, I'll be back with you in a bit. Something just moved. I was hoping to see it. I don't know. I'll be back with you though. All right, so I found where the trails merge, but I also climbed all the way back up the mountain because the river just wasn't what I expected. Like, so I haven't explored this area before, like that section down there. And I came up to a couple nice spots that I could camp at. A lot of big rocks, but I ended up just saying the hell with it and hiking back up the mountain toward the house to see what's up this way. And that's where I'm at. I'm just taking a water break. Make sure that you always, you know, got plenty of water with you. I'm only out here for the day, and I know that if I push hard, I can be back to the house if I wanted to. Straight up the mountain, I could be back to the house in like an hour, but I'm taking my time on these trails. Nuts and stuff falling from the tree, which brings me to what I wanted to show you all. So I sat down right here and I noticed a bunch of these acorns. Now, the good and bad thing about acorns is that they are edible. They're everywhere through here, but you have to boil them. Like, acorns have a lot of what's called tannin. So, one way is just to take the cap off of it. Without dropping it, I guess. And then what I like to do is I just kind of put it in between my pliers, smush it down, and then peel it. This one might actually be bad. Yeah, this one's a little rotten on the inside. See if I can't show you guys. Very good one. Okay, so right here's the acorn. Let's see if I can't get into this one too. Good enough to get the nut out without it being too destroyed. A lot of these I'm finding are rotten, or the worms have got to them. Yep, see, that one's another rotten one. Most of the time the cap will just pop off of it, but for some reason a lot of these aren't. Pull out this husk. Oh, that one's pretty bad too, but see, that one's all rotten on the inside, but that's the nut. But you get the gist. Always make sure you have some. I always carry some type of multi-tool in my belt. This is actually the Ozark Trail multi-force that I always have on me. It's like the Walmart's version of a Leatherman. But just make sure that if you're going to eat acorns, if you're put in that situation, make sure you boil them at least twice. See this right here? These are called allspice berries. And you can tell, one of the main things, when you pop that seed out, the smell is just amazing. It's kind of citrusy. Back in the day, they used to dry these out, grind them up and use them as seasoning. Now these ones I wouldn't actually eat because, see the leaves? It's some type of blight or something that's affecting all of these in this woodland. I'm in the eastern woodlands of West Virginia, where I'm from, my home, and every allspice I've came across it has this weird, they're just dying. They're not healthy. And I can't even find like a good berry. See that? Like that. It's all like, and it's been like this for months, pretty much since I first started noticing these berries. I just never put it on video. But yeah, smells great, but I wouldn't eat it just because of the fungus. But there you go. There's another one, another plant for the day. So just to give you guys a little bit of perspective, the trail that I just came out off of after I went way further than I ever have before, I thought I knew like roughly where I was. Like, I mean, I knew my way to get back, but I came up to my usual spot. This is usually where I go to hang out. You can even see I still got some logs here drying, and just, this was where I usually come to make stuff. So I guess we're gonna set up and chill here for a little bit. Crazy. All right, so one thing I'm gonna do real quick is I've already got a pile of wood right there, my little stuff. I have some big stuff. Is this piece of wood that I'd already split a long time ago. I'm just gonna go ahead and take some off the end here, which I'm using my BPS knives. It's carbon steel 10 I think it's 1066. Yeah, a little dirt on it. It's carbon steel 1066. It's made in Ukraine, but I had to tighten the handle once on it. But these knives, for like 44 bucks, it comes with this, the leather sheath. I did a video on it. And a ferro rod. Super impressed. You know, I make sure that I keep them relatively sharp. It's got the 90-degree spine, but right now I'm just kind of taking a little off the end of this. And you'll see why in a minute. I'm making just like a little hand digging stick. Okay. That's all I wanted to do. And then that'll let me dig down a little bit by hand for where I want to put the fire. Alright, there's what I wanted to get up out of there. Was any roots that are down in there. And no, this doesn't hurt the trees. Miles of roots around here. This is not gonna hurt the tree. Alright, that's all I wanted, was just a little hole. I'm not making a big fire, which brings me to my next trick. I wanted to show you my new it's a utility pouch. It's actually one of those hygiene kits from Walmart for like $2. But this is my new like utility pouch. It's like a fire kit, and I got odds and ends. But I got butter, which I didn't bring any food, and I'm not getting fish today. This is oil. I use that from everything from sharpening my knives and my axe to cooking with. It's just olive oil. I got my fillet knife, which is perfect for fish or small game. I threw a chisel in here in case I needed to break up rock, or obviously working with wood. I keep steel. This is like a steel wool scratch pad. This is actually perfect for when you're cleaning your knives, or like if I want to clean the rust off of a blade, or you know, just mostly knife care. I keep a file in here. It's like, you know, it's the file and rasp. Then I got my tinder bundle that I made out of leather. This is my homemade leather strop for my knives. Yeah. So I took a piece of leather, cut a piece of wood, shaped it, and then all I did was stretch that out and then weave it together so it's nice and tight. And you can see I put it to some use. I try to just do that, you know, and then I've got some jute twine, and then I've got some, these are my fire starters, which I'm gonna take one, and that'll be to make a feather stick. But I keep dry wood in here. Now over here is where I keep, this is actually a tin can that the 177 pellets come in. Now I have leather and my sewing needle in that, which I might actually use this to make char cloth today while we're here. And then I got an extra piece of leather with a small stone, ferro rod, lighter, and then, yes, I want that. That's another stone with 100% cotton handkerchief. And that's it. But for this project, for starting a fire, we're not going to need the strop, we're not going to need the file, not going to need the chisel. Steel wool go back in there. I will be using jute twine, but I'll show you that in a second. Not this jute twine. Butter can go back, oil can go back. And I don't need my fillet knife today. Although I am extremely hungry and didn't bring food because I'm an idiot. So, that's my fire kit. Now, that being said, this is actually a pouch that I made out of a kit. So, I just found out that I work at the VA. I work for the Department of Veteran Affairs, and I am a combat veteran. And I just found out that in voluntary services at the VA here in West Virginia, they have these little craft projects that veterans can do as part of like therapy. You get 5 a month. It's completely free. All you got to do is send you a thank you card every time you do one, which they come in the kit. And so I picked up a couple of these kits. They're, like I said, they're free. If you're a veteran and you get healthcare through the VA, look into the voluntary services. This little pouch was 100% free, and it came with instructions, and I weaved it together. I was like, this is a really nice leather pouch for me to use as my tinder, like to keep my tinder bundle. I also made a pair of moccasins. Like, they have all kinds of stuff. So, get on it. But, we're going to be using this. So, this is jute twine that I've already fluffed up. Now, that being said, we'll set that to the side. I should have actually taken the stuff out of this. And then, did I put my stick back? I think I did. Sorry. Now, one reason why I'm going to do this, I want to show you, is you can make really small curls, right? As what I'm doing is I'm making what's called a feather stick. Okay? And a feather stick is nothing more than you get these real fine curls. And like I said, I keep this stuff in the house, like in my kit, so it's super dry. It's been there for a couple months actually. I haven't needed to use it. But I also just put together that new utility pouch and kit today. I wanted to test it out. So that's actually probably good enough right there, along with the jute twine and then my small stuff I got bundled up. So set that back to the side. Let me get my small stuff ready. Now we're going to fluff out our tinder bundle a little bit. Now, we're ready to rock and roll. And we're going to do it with a ferro rod. Put the knife away. And that's how you make fire, with jute twine and a ferro rod. Look at that, it's already catching. Telling you, dry wood, the right components, spark it right up. A lot of little animals around today. It's actually squirrel season here in West Virginia, so, well, and bow season for deer. I don't actually have a bow, so I need to get one. Alright, so while that's going, we're going to put a hole in the top of this, which I didn't want to have to do, but I think it will be prudent to do so. Actually, you know what? We're not going to use that. I don't think I have an awl on that one. We're going to use our handy dandy Swiss Army knife. Also, because I know that there is an awl on here somewhere. There it is. And right there in the middle. That's all I want to do. Just a little hole. Might have made it too big, but it is what it is. Then, actually, let me see. Doubles as a fire poker too. we are going to use our scissors, which is a great benefit to these tools, because I've had this cloth in my go bag for a pretty long time, actually. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut it about half. I'm going to cut it again. Scissors away. I'm gonna stuff it right in there. See that? We're going to shove it right down in there on the side of the fire. Another thing we're going to do, my old school cup, because I'm an old school type of guy. So I better take a drink of water. Now, one of the reasons you see me doing it like this is I'm just making a cup of coffee. That's literally all I'm doing. So I don't need like a big roaring fire or like hot coals. Now if I was gonna cook or like really wanted to boil, then I'd make sure that it was like super good to go. But I'm just gonna make some coffee. See how I'm kind of like alternating too? I'm kind of like putting sticks on the side so when they start catching, they'll also burn. And I can start putting a few bigger things on there. Alright, you see how, let me show you this. This is why I was testing this out. So, of course, now that I want to show you on camera, I can't get it to roll the right way. Alright, you see that smoke right there? That's the gas. So the char cloth inside, or the 100% cotton material, I'm trying to turn it into char cloth, right? You want the smoke. That's the gases escaping that'll char it and turn it black without igniting. But here's where the problem, I wasn't paying attention. See that little flame? See, the gases are actually igniting. That's not really what I want, because that's just going to burn it. So I'm going to flip it over to the hold down and try that. I've actually never made char cloth. Like, I've used all kinds of materials before, but I've never actually made char cloth. So this is my first attempt, so we'll learn together. But while we do that, let me pull out my, this is the cook set that I've been rocking. Once again, Ozark Trail, Walmart. Comes with a stainless steel plate, a lid. I'm gonna take out a coffee pack, so I want some coffee, and then I keep green tea in here. And it comes, this kit comes with like a little cup, and then your little pot and a little frying pan, which for one person, like, this is great for my bushcraft bag. Lightweight, it's stainless steel, like, pretty nice. And then it all fits together like so, and clamp it. Alright, well, I'll get back to you after I just tend to this fire and chill for a little bit. Alright. Water is done. I'm gonna remove it. Place it right there. Grab my coffee pack. And then just steep it. These Folgers are just great for this, because, you know, I can fit like 4 or 5 in them. That's 4 or 5 cups of coffee right there. Now, obviously, if this was the dead of summer, I wouldn't be sitting this close to the fire, but that little bit of heat coming off there actually doesn't feel too bad, because it's been getting colder here. But that's all the wood I needed, so, I mean, I actually probably pull the, yeah, I'll leave the tin in there. I'll let that stuff burn down. Oh wow, that handle is actually not hot. Now, one thing to note is I would have boiled this water in this cup. Like, I would have collected it out here from nature, but I didn't. I brought this water from home, so I know it's good to go. Alright, I'll get back with you guys. Alright, here's another little tip for you. Let's say that you were out here and you wanted to smoke meat. Right there's how you do it. You start out with a fire, and then once it's all burned and it got down to coals, I put the sticks, moved everything to the middle so that it's still burning. But that's how you create a lot of smoke. Because then if I enclose that, I'd be able to smoke meat right over this little fire. Because it's not even a fire anymore, it's just smoldering. And then I would just keep adding to it so it makes that charcoal. Add that dry stuff. Yeah, that would work great to smoke some meat. Alright, so I know that I'm not going to be here forever. So what I did is I moved all the sticks toward the center. Because before I leave, I'm going to pour water over it and then put dirt over top of it. Now, in a survival situation, or if you were stranded out here, I rolled my ankle and I was going to be here overnight, or anything like that, and or if I was moving camp, if I was staying out here, but I was moving camp, I would not use the water that I had on me to put over the fire. But I also know that I'm less than an hour away from my house now that I am back on my regular trail, so I feel very confident in doing so. Alright, moment of truth. Oh, nice. Very nice. It's exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. Now, let's test it. It works. And there it is. I put water over it, put the dirt back on it. I've been sitting here a while, letting it just kind of die down. Well, it's already out, so we don't have anything to worry about. But this is the area I always go to. We're up on a rock ledge, but there's only one tree that I need to worry about, which is this guy. I'll eventually take him out because it's dead all the way to the top. but it's also pretty sturdy. So like just chilling for the day, I'm not worried about it. Now next time I come out here to actually like camp overnight, we'll take that down. I like this spot. This is probably my favorite spot. Now straight over about another 20-minute hike is the river, but this would be a good spot for a base camp. We're up high on the mountain. We've got a whole rock ledge over here, so that way we don't have to, nothing's coming up that, so we've only got a trail here and a trail over there. Looks like a deer trail. And then behind us is straight up the mountain to civilization. So I like this spot. You'll see me do a lot more projects here. But that concludes today. So just to kind of recap what all we did, we went for a little hike, identified some plants, some edible nuts. Didn't really see a lot of wildlife, or at least I didn't get them on camera. I saw a couple deer, saw some squirrel. I didn't find any place good to go fishing though. That's sad to me. Like there was, I mean, I could have, but I didn't feel like doing that today. So we made fire using jute twine. We also made some char cloth, cup of coffee, because I was an idiot and didn't have any food in my pack. I thought I did, but I didn't. So that's my mistake. But we're only out here for the day, so it all turned out pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, like, subscribe, and we got a lot more to come, especially winter months. I might go ahead and get the website up and running. That way I can do hunting videos and show you guys in depth certain things that we do, setting up a hunting camp, you know, actual hunting that we can't show on YouTube anymore. So for what we did today though, I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more.